Literally, there's inspiration all around me. Sometimes I can be in a cab or in a car and I'll see someone cross the road in such a funny way and I'll think, okay, how can this translate to screen? How can this translate to a piece of content? Between acting, hosting, and content creation, which one do I love? That's like asking a mother who their favorite child is. Atakwambia none, all of them, I love all of them the same. But I think I would say that, of course, there's my first love, which was acting, which I got into when I was really young, primary, high school. It was the first thing I knew. So when I got out of high school, that's the thing that I was more drawn to. And then through that, I went for an audition, I got into media. And then slowly by slowly, I started getting into content creation. Content creation was sort of like a passion of mine. I really liked writing, so I started a blog. And then eventually that became visual on Instagram and on YouTube. But I love all of them the same because they all give me different things. My experience on Crime and Justice was amazing, I can say, because it was a very challenging role that I had to play, and I had to be very emotional, and I had to depict something that so many women have gone through, and so I felt a really huge weight on my shoulders. But it was generally a great experience to even see how we've grown in Kenya creatively, how people behind the scenes and in front of the camera are so professional and so good at what they do. It was nice to see that, Kenya tuko mbali sasa. My take home from Crime and Justice was that we have so much talent in this country and we just need the opportunity to showcase it. When the opportunity is given to us, we take it with all we have and we do something amazing with it. Where I get inspiration from my creative work is generally everyday life conversations that I have with people, sometimes funny things that I see my friends do or that I see in a cab. Literally, there's inspiration all around me. Sometimes I can be in a cab or in a car and I'll see someone cross the road in such a funny way and I'll think, okay, how can this translate to screen? How can this translate to a piece of content? I have like 100 ideas that I have on my phone because only I'll get ideas from the most random of places. I could even have an idea from this conversation here and I'll write it on my notes, and then later on when I'm thinking of doing a video, I'll go back and I'll see all the ideas that I've written and look at the one that I want to do at that particular moment. I can say I'm very diligent in what I do. And I say this because generally I feel like I put in 100 in everything that I do. And at this point, I don't know where I'll be 10 years from now, but I know where I'll be proud of it because I put in a lot of work and a lot of effort. Sometimes I sleep for very few hours because like I have this idea and I want to channel it and I want to write it and I want to, I want to create it in the middle of the night. And so I think I'm very diligent and that's something that has helped me up to where I am. I don't take no's as failures because I've been rejected a lot of times because in the kind of field that I'm in, as an actor, as a host, as a content creator, sometimes you'll send a proposal, sometimes you'll go for an audition and you will be rejected. And some people take that as, okay, I'm not good at what I do, but I don't. I just take it as an opportunity to prove myself the next time I get another opportunity. Creative blocks are the worst, first of all. And I have many of them, actually. I remember recently, it was around January, February when I couldn't even create online because I think I was just exhausted mentally because I was doing a lot of things at the time. And so my mind could not function creatively. And how I deal with it is I let it be. Sometimes forcing creativity is not possible. And sometimes you just have to say, you know what, I'm in this space and it is what it is. And then after that, I get into this space where I watch a lot of creative content that inspires me in some way. Once I'm done like letting it be and sulking in the moment, and it's time to actually be creative, and when I want the creative juice to start flowing, I watch a lot of creative content, something that sparks an idea. But I think being a creative is very interesting because sometimes your source of income depends on it. And sometimes having creative blocks, it's frustrating, but what can we do? We move regardless. I don't think I have one name for the kind of content creation that I do because, man, my content is just based on my lifestyle, what I like. So there's a lot of style, there's a lot of makeup, there's a lot of lifestyle content, but majority of the content, especially on YouTube, is mostly sketches and skits, and that's just because I like acting, and so I figured that's something that I can also bring on my channel. So there's a lot of skits, a lot of enacted scenarios. Yeah, that's what I do content-wise. How I arrived to the kind of content that I do right now is very interesting because, as I said, my content creation journey was sparked by passion. I really enjoyed writing, and so I had a blog, and then I transitioned into video format where I was basically sharing my life and my lifestyle and the things that I really enjoyed. And then slowly by slowly, I realized that I don't like vlogging 24/7 because I really like being present. And that's when I started doing the sketches and the skits, which I absolutely enjoy because it gives me a lot of challenges creatively because I have to write from the beginning. I have to make sure that it's shot in a certain way and edited in the way that I want it to be done. So how I arrived into the sketches and the skits kind of content is because of passion of acting and creating from scratch. So that's where that came from. Some of the challenges that I've faced as a content creator and just creating whatever kind of content that I'm creating is, number one, of course, having your platforms grow. That was a challenge that I had at the beginning. And sometimes you put in a lot of work into a piece of content and then the returns are not the same. Not only money-wise, but also just views and all. So that can be a bit heartbreaking at the beginning. And then after that, I really wanted to up the quality of my content, and then that also became a challenge because you have to invest in it, get a camera, get lights, sound, hire someone to do that because I have a lot of things that I do, so sometimes I'm not able to do all the content creation bits myself, the filming and the editing, because it's a lot of work and a lot of time, and so you have to like invest in it, and sometimes it can be a challenge because you want a return in your investment. If you're spending XYZ, you want it to multiply, to be double or triple of what you're investing in. So those are some of the challenges that I faced. Up to date, I can say I've grown to a place where I'm satisfied. So the pandemic has affected me creatively in the different work that I do. As an actor, I had so many projects lined up, and that was affected. Some of them are out of the country. Even this year, there's one in particularly, but we hope that eventually it's gonna end and I can go and do that project. As a content creator, it's been good and bad because especially at the beginning, so many of us were home. I saw a spike in the number of views that I was having on my channel and on my content because people are at home. What can you do? Watch content. And so I think that was one of the things that was good for me on my channel because people were really consuming a lot of the content that I was doing online. So I think it's good and it's bad. Because also sometimes you want to create content outside of your home and you can't because restaurants are closed. Maybe hotels that you would have filmed in are closed. It's a bit of both. There's so many other Kenyan content creators that I really admire just because, number one, of their hard work. There's my very good friend Maxine Wabosha because of how hardworking she is. This babe, she does not sleep. Then there's Joy Candy. Those are just two of them. Joy Candy is the most diligent content creator. Sometimes I think if I could be a third of what Joy Candy is, ningekuwa mbali sana. She puts a lot of time and effort into the content that she does, and it reflects. I would advise any upcoming content creator to just be consistent in creating quality content. There's no shortcuts in this content creation space, unfortunately. If you want your views to be more, if you want to grow, if you want to make money online as well, you have to really be consistent and create quality content because there's a lot of things that we can consume as consumers. There are movies, there are series, like there's a lot. The quality of the content should be good. And even what you're talking about should be something that I'm willing to listen to consistently.